It's still in the way. Hello, good morning. Are we all in? Yes? No? I'm hearing no. No? I think we're ready to go. Yes. Okay, now before I even get started, junior leaders, I have a little announcement for you, so pay attention. During the message time, so when I'm talking, your job is to quietly and discreetly go to the back, and you're going to grab, you see the red wave there? Yes, perfect. Okay. You're going to quietly and discreetly go to the back sometime during the teaching, and you are going to grab however many takeaways, there's in that kind of boat pirate area there, you're going to grab however many takeaways for the students in your group. So however many kids you have in your group, you're going to grab that many takeaways, you're going to hold them in your hand, and you're going to keep them there until the end. And then Miss Christina is going to tell us what to do with them at the very end, okay? So you students here, there's a surprise for you at the end here today, but we have to stay focused, and your leaders are going to help you afterwards, okay? Okay, good. All right, I know. See, there's so much suspense already. All right, but we are going to get started. So before I even start teaching, I'd like a show of hands. How many of you have a ton of energy today still? Wow, okay. Okay, you can put those hands down. How many of you, it's our last day, how many of you are a little bit tired? Like, ooh, I might take a nap. Okay, I see some adults raising those hands, yes. Okay, now, no matter where you're at on the energy level, are we excited for the last day of Camp Compass? Okay. Okay. Now, it's our last day of Camp Compass, and it's our last day learning about Adoniram. So, no matter where you are in the energy scale, you're going to have to try your best to pay attention because I'm going to have some questions for you, and I want you to get them right. Okay? All right, so we're going to get started. Now, yesterday, did we end off on a happy event or a sad event? Sad event. Do you guys remember the sad event that we talked about? Yes. What was it? You can say it out loud. Yes. So Anne was Adoniram's wife, and she died. And then 2 months after she died, their little, 6 months after she died, their little girl died as well. So it was super sad. So unfortunately today, where I'm picking up on, there's more sadness. So we have to, I know, that's okay. We're going to make it through, okay? Now, Anne and his daughter had both died, and on top of that, Adoniram gets a letter from his mom saying that his dad died too. I know, okay. And then, I know there's more, and then after that, Adoniram gets another letter saying that his brother Elnathan, do you remember the name Elnathan from the very first day? His brother Elnathan and Elnathan's wife and their baby died too. I know. He gets all these letters. Yeah. Now, listen up. Shh. Do you think that he was a little bit discouraged, a little bit sad? Yeah, he was. He had a really tough time. He felt like death was just all around him, that it was inescapable. And that makes sense. There was a lot of people that were close to him that had died. So Adoniram really struggled for a long time. He had discouragement and depression, so he just wanted to stay inside. He had friends at the mission that wanted him to come outside, hang out. Did he want to do that? No. They said, do you want to go to some parties with the British leaders and kind of get to know them? No. Do you want to meet a lot of new people at the mission and spend a lot of time? No. Adoniram just wanted to stay in his hut. He wanted to pray, and he wanted to think of all the good memories that he had with his wife and his daughter. Now, one day, there was a man that came and visited, and he had a very unique job. And this man and his job got Adoniram thinking. And Adoniram, for the first time in a while, was kind of excited. Now, without saying it out loud, I want you to think what kind of job you think maybe made Adoniram perk up a little bit. Okay? Now, this job was something that would have been very useful for Adoniram. This guy was a printer. So his job was to print out papers of anything that Adoniram could have wanted. So Adoniram could have printed the Psalms. He could have printed part of the New Testament that he had translated. He could have printed gospel tracts. Really anything that he wanted to help get the gospel out to these people in Burma, this guy could help him with. So together, they printed out 10,000 tracts. That is a lot of tracts. Remember from Wednesday, those little books that have the gospel written on it? They printed out 10,000 of those for the people in this city. Now, Adoniram ended up moving just a little city away. One, because he wanted to get over the sad memories that he had there and kind of experiment with something new. But two, there was a group of Burmese Christians that needed a leader. So he moves over to this new city. He and his friend print 10,000 gospel tracts. And of those 10,000, 6,000 people come to the mission, and they ask Adoniram so many questions. They want to know more about the gospel and what they had read. And you know what's even crazier is there were people from China, which would have taken 2 to 3 months to travel. They traveled 2 to 3 months to go see Adoniram and ask him how they could learn about the gospel and hear the truth before they died. So they were really encouraged by those gospel tracts. And this was really exciting because for 9 years, Adoniram had spent a lot of time in Burma trying to share the gospel, and there were 18 Burmese people that had been baptized, which is awesome. But in 1 year, so that was 9 years, and there were 18 people that got baptized. In 1 year, there were 217 people that got baptized. That's pretty awesome. So God was doing amazing things in Burma still. Now, Adoniram had another goal, all right? He wanted to translate the whole Bible into the Burmese language. Because right now, what he has, he translated the New Testament, and he has the Psalms. But he didn't have the whole Bible. So that was his next big project. So he took many, many years, and every single day he devoted time to translating the Bible. So this is where I want you to pay attention. On the screen, I'm going to have 3 different languages on the screen, and you're going to tell me if you can figure out what verse it's talking about, okay? So first here, we have this scroll. Can you guys read that for me? No? You don't think so? Okay. Yeah, it's something important. Now, I'm going to tell you, this language is Hebrew. Okay, hang with me. This is our first language we're looking at. How about this one? Does this give you any hints about what Bible verse? Okay. Do we see anything we recognize? Ooh, I heard some answers. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, this language is Burmese. So this is the language. So did we get some good guesses? Now, I heard a lot of you. We see some numbers at the top. What verse we think this is? Okay, awesome. And then we have it. Does this look a little more familiar? Yes. Okay. So this is English. Now, can I tell you something crazy about those 3 languages we looked at? Okay, Adoniram knew all 3 of those languages, and he translated the Bible. Let's go back here. Okay, this is Hebrew. Remember, he didn't have the Old Testament translated yet, but he wanted the Old Testament that he translated for the Burmese people, he wanted it to be super, super accurate. So instead of translating from English, like the language we read, he translated it from Hebrew directly to Burmese. He didn't use English to translate it all. And that's pretty crazy. Can you imagine trying to translate that without any English? That'd be pretty tricky. So it makes sense that he spent so much time translating. So he spent a long time, and after a very long time, the entire Burmese Bible was translated. So that's pretty exciting. Now, can you imagine how exciting this would have been? I mean, you see here, he's got like 2 pens. He's writing at the same time. I don't know if that's, but you can tell how excited he is, huh? Okay. Now, remember when he first got to Burma, did he just magically know the language right away? No, did he have to work for it? Yeah, he had to learn new words and new sounds and new ways to talk, but he worked hard and he trusted that God would use his efforts to help provide the Bible. Now, I want to show you guys something really special. Some of you have already noticed. Do you see our Bible here? This is a Burmese Bible. So when you come later afterwards, when your leaders let you come up, you can see up here, it's not written in English. This is the same translation that Adoniram worked on for a long time, and this is the same translation that people in Burma still use today. And that was almost 200 years ago. So that's pretty cool that we have a copy right here that we can look at. Now, a lot of things we've already talked about today, a lot of cool things that God used Adoniram for, but guess what? his story isn't done yet. Now, remember, we started off, our story today was a little bit sad, and it was the end of our story yesterday. Remember, his wife Anne had died? Yeah. So he was really sad, and he was lonely. But God brought another missionary into his life named Sarah Boardman. Now, what's crazy is Sarah and her husband were also serving near Burma. But Sarah's husband, like Anne, he had gotten sick and he passed away. So both Sarah and Adoniram knew what it was like to lose someone that they loved. So God brought them both comfort, and he brought them together, and they got married. So Adoniram and Sarah got married. Is that a lot of kids? Yeah, it's a lot of kids. God blessed them with 8 kids. I know. Can we count all 8 on there? Yes. Yes. Which is awesome. All right. So we're very excited. Adoniram and Sarah, they work in Burma together for 10 years, and God has blessed them with children. Now, do you think it was super easy after this? Yeah, I don't think it was. After this, the 8 kids, unfortunately, there were still sickness and danger. I know. And then sadly, after 10 years together, Sarah passes away. I know. I know. There's hope. There's hope at the end of this, guys. We got to hang on. Okay. Shh. Now, this would be another difficult loss. I mean, you guys are sitting here thinking, wow, that's got to be hard. Imagine how Adoniram felt. That would be really sad. So he had another difficult loss, and then he goes back to America for a short time. And while he's there, he meets a woman named Emily. Now, oh, what's going to happen? Now, first, before we get anywhere, let's talk about Emily's special job. She also has a special job that could be very helpful for Adoniram in the mission field. Okay? Think through it. You don't need to say it out loud, but think through another job. It's not a printer, but it's similar. She has a special talent that God has given her. Ooh, I heard it. Emily is a writer, so she does a lot of writing. Okay? I know, that's a lot. Now, her writing ability can help publish things for Adoniram. So she can write letters, she can publish books, she can do a lot of different things and tell stories about the work that God is doing in Burma. So, this is the part we are so excited for. Even though Adoniram was getting older, they got married, him and Emily got married, and they traveled back to Burma together because he was not done serving God, and Emily was able to be helpful. All right? Now, he had one more big project that he wanted to complete. So we think about it. He's shared the gospel. They've printed gospel tracts. He has the whole Bible translated. He has one more big project he wants to complete. Now, again, was the language just right away magically appeared in his brain? No. And he remembered how hard it was for him to have to learn that language. So he thought, I want to help other people learn the Burmese language too, so that other missionaries can use it and other people around the world. So he decides to create and write a Burmese English dictionary. Okay, can you raise your hand for me if you have used a dictionary before? Oh, great. Okay, so we're familiar. Now, if you don't know, a dictionary is a big book, and it has all the different words in it that you might be able to think of, and it tells you what those words mean. So it's very helpful if you're learning a new language. Now, Adoniram had spent most of his life, I know, that's a pretty big book. He had spent most of his life working for the Burmese people and doing what God had commanded him to do, which was share the gospel. So then he finishes the dictionary. And let's think back to this whole week. This is where I want you to remember what we've learned, okay? He'd been in prison. He'd been separated from his family. He had lost people he loved. He battled sadness and depression, but in all of it, he continued following God. Okay, so this is pretty amazing. So he's got all these things, and now Adoniram is in his 60s, okay? Now, he became very sick, all right? And he had a serious lung disease. So the doctors think, hey, Adoniram, it'd be great. You can get some sunshine. We can put you on a boat. You can enjoy the waters. That might help you with your lung disease, okay? So Adoniram, he's a little bit older. He goes on the boat, and he's brought on a ship, and unfortunately, he dies. Now, I know. Now, can we just pause? Shh, let's take a look at this, okay? Are there any big parades going on for him right now? No. Are there any major speeches that we know about? No. Is there just like a party about we celebrate Adoniram? No. He dies on a boat, and I want us to think about this. This is a guy who we just learned did so much. This whole week we've been talking about how much God has used him. But he is just a missionary and a faithful man who wants to do what God says. And so I know that we've learned so many cool things about him, but we look at this and we're like, you know what? Like, God used an ordinary man to do so many great things. Now, let's recap all the things, and I want you to respond back. All right? We have so many different things. Did Adoniram have an easy life? No. It's very sad. Did everything go the way Adoniram wanted it to go? No. Did he ever face sadness? Yeah, he did. Then, and this is one I want you to think about, why didn't Adoniram quit? Think about it, don't say it out loud. Why did he not quit? Because Adoniram believed that Jesus was worth serving and that he wanted to obey God no matter where he was. Now, you're sitting here, do you think your life is going to be super easy for the rest of your life? No, it's probably not. We're going to have some tough days. We might have some arguments. There might be tough things that happen. But can God still use you? Yeah. We just need to be obedient like Adoniram was and trust God even in the really difficult times of life. So I know it's, we're learning about a lot of death and sadness, but I also want us to think about how many cool things happened because Adoniram was faithful to God. Now, even today, there's Burmese Christians, there's Burmese churches, there's Burmese pastors. We have a Burmese Bible. There's a Burmese dictionary. And on top of that, can you think about all the lives that were saved through the gospel that Adoniram was faithful to teach? That's a lot. So I want us to be encouraged as we leave that even though life can definitely be hard, God promises to be with us even when it's difficult. Can we walk away with that encouragement today? Sure. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to pause us there. Miss Christina is going to come up, and I need you guys to be good listeners. I want you to stay seated, and we're going to listen to what she has to say.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys about our takeaway this week that you guys get to bring home with you. And it is really something that sums up Adoniram and Anne's life. Now, even though, like Miss AJ said, they suffered so much, to us right here, living still on earth, we think this is so sad. Why are we even talking about all this sadness? I want to tell you guys something. Right now, while we're all at Camp Compass, Anne and Sarah and Adoniram and his third wife, they are in the presence of the Lord. Guys, they are the happiest they've ever been. No, but she should celebrate because they don't feel the suffering of pain. Yes, absolutely. And you want to know what else is amazing? Is they're not there alone. Some of the people who are there are saved and are there because of the sacrifices that they made. They knew that the real treasure was Christ. And they were living for a future life, not this life. This life is awesome and filled with good things, but it won't last long. They have been in the presence of Jesus longer than any of us have been alive or will be alive. And so to help you guys remember that the true treasure is Christ, you guys are all going to get a little treasure chest. Now, inside of your treasure chest is something special. Some of you will get a yellow starburst, kind of like a yellow gold brick in your treasure chest. Others have an actual fake gold nugget. Now, those of you who find a gold nugget in your treasure chest, as you walk out, Mrs. Hernandez and I will hand you a chocolate gold coin. So there's a little bit of excitement this year, and you have to figure out. Now, even a Starburst is super tasty, and you all get to keep your treasure boxes, but I know the chocolate coin is pretty awesome. So your leaders have time before we leave to hand all of your treasure chests out. And then as you're walking out, hold on, guys, wait just 1 minute so you know what to do. I don't want you to not get your gold coin. As you guys are walking out, if you just show Mrs. Hernandez or I your gold nugget, you can keep it. Just show it to us, and we will hand you a gold coin. Okay? All right. Thank you, guys.